Hello guys and welcome back to CineClipsHub. Today I'm going to give an unscripted, unfiltered breakdown of the movie Deadpool and Wolverine. I loved it, as it seems the audience loves it, but it was one of the best movies I've seen for a while. And I saw Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I really had high expectations for it, but I can easily say that some of the expectations we had for the Multiverse of Madness, I think Deadpool met them and went even beyond. So, what is the plot? Well, basically, we know that in Deadpool 2, Deadpool used a time traveling device that he got from Cable. He went to his timeline, he went to a couple different timelines, and the idea is he met Happy Hogan, which we know is Tony Stark's friend, and he requests to join the Avengers. He's rejected. He says that he wants to be a superhero, but Hogan, there's some really good jokes that Deadpool makes to Hogan, but he says, yeah, he's not the guy they're looking for, and the Avengers can do pretty well without him. And after 6 years, we can see a not so good life that Wade Wilson has amassed for himself. Well, his wife or his girlfriend left him, and his job is not going so good. Basically, he has a Peter, which we remember, it's his own friend right now, and he gets a birthday party. During his birthday party, he has some interesting moments, funny ones, of course, and he breaks the full fourth wall, I think, one or two times. But the idea is, at that moment, in his birthday, where he has a not so good looking to pay on him, the TVA comes. They tell him, you can get your own place, but your own universe with the people you love, with all your friends, is going to die. Why? Because there are these anchor points, which are, I don't think I've heard about them before. So what an anchor point means is that there are people or individuals in certain universes or timelines that if they die, the universe starts to fall down. Basically, the universe is not the same, and as it seems, Deadpool's own universe is going to fall down completely. After that, we learn that Mr. Paradox tells him that he's going to speed up the process of Deadpool's own universe to be distinguished and destroyed from all the timelines, and he doesn't like it, so he goes on to find a Wolverine, because Logan was the anchor point of that timeline, actually. He went on to find, I think these are some of the coolest scenes because we see lots of variants of Logan, or Wolverine, however you want to call it, and there are some funny ones, which I'm not going to mention, but you'll love it. You'll love it when you see it for yourself. What happens with those? They both get sent to the Void by the TVA. So now we understand that the Void is its own place. There are people over there, and from now on, you can see that there will be a little bit of spoilers, so spoiler alert from now. What happens there is Deadpool and Wolverine have a small fight. They are together and someone comes to attack them, let's say. One of the guys who's going to attack them is Sabretooth, which we've known for a while now. He's been in the first X-Men movies, and it was a really good cameo. And the other guy who's with Logan and actually Deadpool, or Wade, we can call him both ways, what happens there, we see a new guy. It's Chris Evans. And there's a small joke where Deadpool doesn't know that he's a variant of Captain America, and we see that now he's Johnny Storm. But there's some interesting stuff there and there, but after all this, they went to the Cassandra Nova. She is the twin sister of Charles Xavier. I didn't hear about her. As I've mentioned before, I'm not a big comic book guy. I've only seen the movies. I read some of the comic books and the animated series, but I've never heard about her before. If you probably did, you probably read the comic books. And there's some funny scenes, some interesting scenes, a small fight, and Logan and Wade escape. What happens with there is they meet a variant of Wade called Nicepool, he's really nice, and the idea is they're joking to Canada at this point, because he talks a little bit Canadian. He has a small dog, which is Dogpool. It's so cute. The relationship between Wade and the Dogpool is so interesting. And after that, they fight each other. This is one of the best fights of Deadpool that I've seen in a while. The fight is so big that both of them are left unconscious, and someone comes and drags them together, drives them to the borderlands, which is Lara, which we know as X-23. We saw in the movie Logan. There we see some of the best cameos since No Way Home, where like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire came, which is Elektra, Blade, and Gambit. When Blade comes in, the music, the moment, that's a really special moment over there. And Gambit, I won't tell you who Gambit is played by if you haven't watched the spoilers until now, but that's a really moment between all of them. They create this own team, they go fight together, but what happens is they beat Cassandra Nova. They are brought back to the world. Cassandra Nova comes back to the world. They understand that the Paradox is trying to create the Time Ripper, but in the end, as always, the good guys prevail. But what we've learned from this is that the future is infinite for, let's say, Avengers Secret Wars, because we see that it's not so hard to travel between the multiverse. It's not so hard for Marvel to get all these big names, all these big actors. They have a really big budget. So Avengers Secret Wars, I think they're going to gather probably all the movies in the last 30 years. Probably they're going to bring like a little bit of animation variants as well. That's what I think. And they're going to make a really big movie. Deadpool and Wolverine, go watch it into theaters. I think it's one of the best movies I've seen in a while. This movie probably had a big opening weekend. It had like $350 million only on this weekend. And it's going to be a banger. It's a Hollywood movie. What happens in the end? Wade requests B-15 to return the others to all their timelines, while the letter reveals that Wade's timeline is no longer deteriorating. What happened here is that no incursion, no deterioration, no removal of universe, because what Deadpool did, he allowed the timeline future to change, which means that his universe is not going to be destroyed anymore. What this is a new hope for all the other universes. The fate of the universe can be changed in the end, not just by an anchor point, but even if the anchor point dies, there are ways in which the universe can be brought back to life. Logan hopes that the past can change, but B-15 tells him that his past is what makes him the anchor being needed to save Wade's timeline, and there is no reason for further change. Logan, who wants to retire and live a peaceful life, is taken by Wade to meet his friends, along with Lara. That is one of the best family scenes since Vin Diesel and the Fast and Furious movies. And Logan helps, he's a good wingman to Wade, and Wade reconciles with Vanessa. I love the movie. Let me know what you thought of it if you watched it. If you didn't watch it, I hope I didn't spoil for you. And as always, let's see you next time.